We'll take a look around the horn who's on what for each side. Kinguin, you've got Peytos back on to that Bat Rider. Kesor back on the Nyx. Anti-Mage played by Exotic Deer, Pugna, Nisha, and then finally Lich by El Basash. We take a look at the other side. HellRaisers, Bambo's going to be on that Nature's Prophet. Venomancer played by 33. Kaiser on the Phantom Lancer. Milan back on that Earthshaker. And finally, you've got J4 on the Shadow Shaman. Just had to fix my OBS again.
If it looks like it went down for a second there, but should be coming back up.
It was giving me unable to connect to Twitch servers, which was interesting.
It could be your routing to the Twitch servers. Do you use a different Twitch server each time you stream?
I just switched from the Virginia one, which was working good until that point, and then I went back to New York to see if that's going to fix it.
Alright. Maybe I can help you figure it out after this game, but it looks for now tons of treants top lane. You know, this anti-mage, not worth going. This side is not worth going for this bounty rune. I mean, just look at the treants. They do 36 damage each. Ice Frog Y. And so, I actually think this this anti-mage will probably get bullied out of this lane unless they figure out a way to kill the Nature's Prophet, which is exceedingly difficult with the Earthshaker. You know, the only way that anti-mage usually lanes or wins his lane is if he gets to hit the offlaner and take away his mana, but Lich is an extremely passive hero, so I think the goal for anti-mage here is to get as many last hits as possible without trading too much of your health, because until you're... Oh, it's a lot of damage on them. No,
those
almost got us around
doing an amazing job, already pushing back Kesor down to less than half health. El Wasash has to back up a little bit. And they're kind of scared from Sexy Bambo. I'm kind of hoping to see a better performance than last game, and maybe this hero is definitely it for him.
Yeah, I mean, Nature's Prophet's a really strong hero this patch. You know, I think... Oh, we missed a kill.
Kaiser gets that kill over bottom. He was there with J4 with Shackles. Pause from Kaiser.
Nature's Prophet, definitely a much more, I don't want to use the word versatile, but definitely better in a lot more situations than Broodmother, and a lot harder to shut down. Even though he's not invis, you know, the Nature's Prophet can usually find farm. Now, we have a Warcraft 3 surround coming.
Ooh, take a look. Kesor might be in a little bit of trouble. Milan, unfortunately, not enough mana for another fissure when it comes up. But, he is able to get out, and Sexy Bambo is still just harassing these heroes heavily.
Yeah, and now the Lich has Frost Armor level 2, which isn't bad, but I don't think it's good either. I think in order for this anti-mage lane to work, they have to be able to actually pressure the Nature's Prophet, which means slowing him with Lich, stunning him with Nyx, and having the anti-mage blink on top. And doing this repeatedly until the Nature's Prophet cannot lane anymore, but instead, you know, Nyx gets harassed out of the lane. Nature's Prophet pretty much has a free lane at the moment.
Kesor and Milan just going to trade some blows. Meanwhile, you've got the Nature's Prophet coming in to snipe that courier and maybe as well get Nisha. So you take a look over mid. Kesor looking to line up a stun, but the fissure now comes out on 2. Nisha's going to be dead to treants. Kesor's got to run. He should be able to move this Earthshaker, and he will. But that was a great move coming in from Sexy Bambo, finally on the board with a kill.
Very good rotation from the Nature's Prophet. I mean, you have the kill, and then you also have the courier snipe, and Nyx is slowly going down here.
Yeah, 33 putting him in a lot of trouble, but at the same time, Nisha just really hitting hard with that Nether Blast, so...
Unfortunately for him, level 2 Gale doesn't do insane amounts of damage, but he'll live.
So that did open up a little bit of space for Exotic Deer, but now Nature's Prophet back stronger and, you know, harder, better, faster, stronger. I was going to go there, but couldn't line it up perfectly. But he's back.
You know, Anti-Mage is just eating hits from the Nature's Prophet. You can't really out-regenerate it. even with Frost Armor. They really need to get on top of him, or I guess it looks like he's just willing to trade hits for last hits for now because the Nyx is rotating mid. Might try to go for a kill on this.
They've got Milan nearby, though, so going in on 33 is still going to be difficult, especially with the Venomous Gale to start it off. He's going to come a little bit deep. They've got Sexy Bambo here, so Nisha in a whole lot of trouble, but the Nether Blast is going to do a lot of damage, and he'll be able to throw that last hit at Sexy Bambo. Fortunately, he dies before he gets the kill, but it's still a one-for-one trade, and I think 33 is trying to set up another Venomous Gale if he can get it off right here, and he does hit on the K-Sor with the fissure. Should be a kill. 33 with the double kill. And 4-1 for HellRaisers.
He actually missed the Gale, but
did he?
Still results in a kill. Yeah, point blank Gale missed. Feels bad, but you know, I'm fairly certain that Bambo didn't have to die there. Kind of TP'd into the middle of a creep wave and didn't de-aggro it, but you know, Kinguin should have got nothing out of that. Instead, they get the Nature's Prophet kill, which I'm sure they're happy with. It's a perfectly fine trade considering that Pugna doesn't really lose anything out of that aside from having to TP back, but that's not the worst thing. And you know, that puts Pugna in a little bit of a better position. I mean, he's got like almost a level and a half on this Venomancer somehow, and you know, as the Pugna reaches level 7, it becomes harder and harder to stop the Pugna from pushing out your creep waves and blasting the tower. That being said, Kinguin, HellRaisers are in a better position. I think their Phantom Lancer is also in a pretty good position and pretty much free farm at the moment.
Looking to go in on to Sexy Bambo. You take a look, El Sasha as well as Exotic Deer. They get him quite low, force him all the way back.
Yep, I think that's what they really needed this lane. They needed to be able to hurt Bambo enough that he'd be discouraged from laning, and I'm pretty sure this anti-mage is in the position he wants to be in. He's got Frost Armor, well, he's got potentially Frost Armor, he's got a Poor Man's Shield, and he's got a Ring of Health. So now it's exceedingly difficult for Bambo to actually put this anti-mage low enough where he's in kill potential. And so I think part of the reason is because anti-mage has kept his health up really well. Lich probably managed the lane really well, but most importantly, I think these rotations from Bambo have hurt his ability to stay in this lane. I think the first rotation was good, but the second rotation hurt him a lot. It feels like if the Earthshaker and the Nature's Prophet were parked in the top lane, they definitely could have pressured this anti-mage really hard.
They're going to try and come in on 33 again. They've got 3 heroes mid with the Nyx now spotted from nicely placed Plague Ward by 33. I think he's very well defended with how he's got these Plague Wards set up. And with 3 heroes mid, I don't know if Kinguin's going to be able to come in all the way through this tier 1 tower to get the kill, but as I say that, they might set up for it with both Nisha and actually the Nyx.
They won't kill him. Like, if Venomancer goes down, it's because his positioning was poor. What they really have going for them is, bottom.
Bottom, Fissure, as well as the Phantom Lance Ether Shock will come out. They get the kill. Meanwhile, J4 killed off by Nisha, and Exotic Deer up top gets the kill on Sexy Bambo, so his game is kind of degraded down to, you know, going with that second rotation like you said, it has gone down from where it looked like it was going to be a good game for him, and now it's not Phantom so Monster. Great. Yeah, K-Sor gets that stun, and we'll get the kill.
That was an incredible rotation from the Pugna and the Nyx. And, you know, they won't actually kill this. Actually, they probably will kill this Venomancer. He's totally out of position.
Yeah, he's pretty deep. The Gale will slow down Patos, and oh, wow!
Yeah, that's quick. Take grip of 5.
That was really quick. Elisash will end up falling for the, you know, for the cause, but still, that was quite quick damage coming out onto this Venomancer.
So the game's fairly even right now. I mean, no team really has a huge lead. The problem that HellRaisers have to deal with is if they can't apply enough pressure, then I think this anti-mage will just win the game for them. I mean, I believe anti-mage does well against Phantom Lancer because he can clear out the illusions with Battle Fury. I mean, the thing he has to worry about is getting Diffusal Bladed down, but you know, he's got Frost Armor to help him out with that. He's got Pugna Blast to help him out with the illusions, and I think they're definitely in the winning position right now for Kinguin. Just because the anti-mage is having a good early game, and later in the game they have so much pick-off potential with Nyx, Bat Rider plus anti-mage, and then you have the tower push potential from Pugna. So I think HellRaisers probably feeling the pressure here. I mean, they've gotten some really decent farm on the... Oh, Nyx maybe?
Yeah, they might get him. J4 is here with the shackles. That should lock it up. And there's the kill for Sexy Bambo. So they have these rotations from Sexy Bambo that look good at times, and other times they fall flat on their face. So you need more rotations like that out of Sexy Bambo to really continue to make it work.
Yeah, for sure. And they lose their mid tower though, and that's pretty big actually. So then I think Pugna's game plan now is to just be the door-to-door salesman of pain, just walking from lane to lane, blasting their towers, blasting their creeps, and so HellRaisers have to deal with that, and at the same time they have to deal with the fact that the anti-mage is farming, and that's why I think part of Kinguin's draft is sort of brilliant with that last pick anti-mage. You have 4 heroes that are more than capable of making space and securing farm for the anti-mage, and then you have the enemy team which don't really have easy ways to catch this anti-mage. They don't have like any long-range stuns. Their chain stun isn't really complete until the Earthshaker gets his blink.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this anti-mage continue to just free farm, and then I look at what HR has, and like you just said, I don't know if I see really HR being able to kill off the anti-mage. Maybe they kill up the set pieces around him, but even then, it looks like they're kind of struggling with that. They've got Sexy Bambo very low. There's the D-Crap. Oh my god.
You know, I never said this in the draft, but I am a huge advocate of the Pugna hero, especially when you go like Aether Lens Ags. Hero is a meme for sure.
God.
So, I mean, HellRaisers are stuck just trying to get what they can out of the map until they actually have the pieces they need to kill the anti-mage. I mean, I think one of the scenarios in which they actually win this game is if Earthshaker gets an early blink, or maybe Bambo actually won the lane so hard that he gets his Orchid before this anti-mage has a relevant item. Instead, you know, this anti-mage is more than on track to get a really good battle fairy timing. He's only 800 gold away, 11 minutes in, and he's about to get a tower kill from his teammates, and so, you know, HellRaisers, they're starting to push top, but Kinguin are more than capable of defending these towers if they set up for it, but looks like they might be a bit late for that.
Tier 2 up top, gonna drop 12 minutes in. It's good pushing from HellRaisers, but they're fighting. Their team fight capabilities, or even just their one-on-ones or anything like that, just it does not look promising.
It's based on items, right? Like, they need a lot of items on their Phantom Lancer, their Venomancer, and their Nature's Prophet. Most certainly, HellRaisers, their heroes scale a lot better with items than... Or, they need to be scaled with items a lot more than Kinguin. I mean, Kinguin, they picked 4 heroes, aside from the anti-mage, they picked 4 heroes that scale really well in the mid-game, and so that definitely gives Kinguin the advantage going into the next 10 minutes.
I don't know if you saw that down bottom, and I think this is what he was trying to accomplish. The Pugna decrept his own siege creep to make sure the tower didn't hit it. He tried to kill the creep wave in front of it quick enough so it would survive and be able to hit this tower even more.
I mean, siege creeps are so important this game. I mean, I would have even life drained the siege creep to keep it alive, but...
Oh, 33 found out. There's the blink with the lasso decrep. It's another kill going the way of Team Kinguin, and they make it look real easy with these pickoffs.
I'm also a huge advocate, and, you know, someone had to tell me this, but maxing decrypt first as a core Pugna is just so good. I mean, the enemy increased magic damage, it scales up to 60%. The cooldown goes down 3 seconds each level, and so there's a lot of value in maxing the decrypt first.
Ooh. K-Sword might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Shackle. Life Drain to try and keep him alive. And there's a 2-man stun to follow it up. Nyx is still trying to run away. Meanwhile, the rest of this fight, Nisha getting chased down by 33 and Sexy Bambo. They did end up getting that kill on the Nyx. He's locked up in the Sprout. There's the Flame Break to push back these heroes. Nisha now getting body blocked by these treants. Decreps himself. And now Phantom Lancer's in the mix to try and get this kill on the Pugna. Still alive for the time being. There's the life drain, really trying for it. Almost gets it. There's the totem to lock him up even further, and 33 gets the kill.
I would have laughed so hard if he survived there because the Fisher blocked off his entire, or the Earthshaker's Fisher blocked off his entire team. But luckily they land the kill. Unfortunately, the anti-mage was farming that entire time, propels himself to top net worth, finishes his Battle Fury at a pretty good time. 13 and something minutes, and so...
Oh God, I'm so glad you said the word net worth. I had it still on CS.
Oh, middle.
Take a look over mid. There's the stun on 2. K-Sword
like
trying to run away, and there's the Gale. Should be a kill. Neutral creeps trying to be MVP, but they're not going to find it.
HellRaisers, they're catching a few breaks here. I mean, they're playing the game plan they need to play. You know, go for pickoffs, try to get some objectives, take away as much map control as possible. And now that they have the blink on Earthshaker, it is possible for them to kill the anti-mage. The problem is that they need multiple heroes to be on top of this anti-mage to kill him, and so they're smoking to the jungle. Hopefully they're going to place some wards that, you know, spot the anti-mage's movements, but right now they're completely in the dark as far as I know.
And they got scanned out as well, so anti-mage knows it's coming.
TP's bottom.
And you got
really good move by. Really good move by anti-mage. You always want to be on the opposite side of the map from your team and from the enemy team. Just to... It makes it more obvious when the enemy team is rotating, and it also helps your team because you're not taking away the safe farm of the map.
Sandy Mage is 2,000 net worth in front of the Phantom Lancer. He does have a Diffusal Blade, so Kaiser looking alright. But meanwhile, there's the lasso coming through. That's going to be on 33. Poison Nova. Chain Frost thrown his way. 33 will drop. And now you look at the rest of this fight as HR, they're kind of split up in a bad way. So Patos looks like he's going to go down. He gets denied by Elisash. And meanwhile, bottom, Exotic Deer just continuing to push and farm.
Yep. So it's he's walking through a ward right now, which shouldn't be relevant. But the thing for Exotic Deer right now is, as an anti-mage, he's only scared when the enemy team is capable of mobilizing, say, 3 heroes. It has to be the Earthshaker, and then plus 2 heroes, preferably like the Shadow Shaman. And if he notices the Earthshaker missing, then he knows he has to be a little bit careful, which is fine for him because he's gonna outfarm the enemy team even if he's moving around a lot. And so, if he ever spots the Earthshaker, you know, he's willing to push bottom up until the tier 3, like we just saw. And so, HellRaisers, they have to be tricky with how they use their smokes and how they plant their wards because the thing about Kinguin's lineup is they can always do stuff.
Ooh, dust comes out onto this Nyx. Not too certain how they knew that. They scanned, never mind. That's how they figured it out. And they do get that little bit of dust, but they're not going to get the kill on the Nyx, so he's able to run away as Milan again. The Fissure just not benefiting them. It pushed the Nyx away, and again they were just not able to follow it up.
Yeah. I mean, there's no clear net worth advantage right now. HellRaisers are doing a really good job of split pushing and farming all the sides of the map and taking towers. I mean, this Phantom Lancer is still 3rd highest net worth, so he's not in the worst position. And Batrider's actually setting up for a kill down here. I don't know if he's gonna...
Lasso on the Phantom Lancer. They got him locked up, but no follow-up. So he's able to run away for now. The Spike Carapace comes out from the Nyx. They do end up getting the kill on J4, so let's see if they continue to chase. Kaiser's got to try and run away from the side of Kinguin. A nice Gale. There's the kill on Patos. They look for more. They spot themselves a Lich. Elisash is going to drop. And now that Phantom Lancer's got himself 2 kills, something that HR desperately needs. They look for more in Nisha, who I don't think is going to be able to run, but there's that life drain, really looking to stay alive. But with all of HR here, except for the Shadow Shaman, he's not getting much. And actually, none of these heroes have buyback, so this could be a tier 3, maybe even more.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fight that HellRaisers were looking for. Well, not really the fight. I think they were just looking to push the tower, but Kinguin sort of overextended, right? Like, the Pugna used his spells, only managed to kill a Shadow Shaman, and as they were chasing, the fight got harder and harder for them. They were walking into Treants, they were walking into Plague Wards. And now they might even lose their racks.
Looks like they're going to at least lose this melee racks. Anti-Mage is trying to get into this fight. You take a look, the Chain Frost bouncing around. Echo Slam comes out. They delete HellRaisers. But still, Chain Frost doing quite a bit of damage. It'll take out this Phantom Lancer. They lose Exotic Deer. He's the only one who has buyback right now. Kazor is going to drop before 33. They'll get another, but 33 not going to get away anyway as Nisha gets that kill. So 4 die on the side of Kinguin. They lose the Venomancer and the Phantom Lancer, but that was a big price to pay on the side of Kinguin.
It really was. I mean, HellRaisers, they get 2k net worth ahead, and it looks like Bambo's actually TPing in to try to take this.
Bambo, we've seen this before.
Or he will.
Oh, I don't know. He's getting low. Decrepit and killed off, but they finally get the melee racks with the Treants. What's the hot take on that? Is that worth his life?
I'd actually say yes. I mean, normally no, but this game, it helps a lot because the anti-mage is always going to be split pushing you, and if you have one less lane to worry about, it helps you predict where he's going to be, and it helps you just deal with the lanes in general, and so probably worth it. That being said, I feel like Kinguin made a little bit of an error that fight, overextending to try to catch the Phantom Lancer, and I think HellRaisers are in a much better position than they were before, but it's still going to be a pretty close match.
Double damage here, spotted by this Nyx.
I think the thing to watch out for, so Anti-Mage has the double damage, but he also has his Manta Battle Fury, so he's actually capable of bursting heroes right now. He just has to have his teammates help him find them, and so I think if Kinguin managed to go for pickoff like in the next minute, they'll be able to get Roshan and be in a very good position.
This Nyx trying to place some wards over here, not going to find the ability to with those plague wards just hidden away at him and that ward.
So the interesting thing to me is Bambo's trying to build an Atos right now, which I don't think helps him that much because the anti-mage can Manta it off, and so I'm pretty sure you can Manta it off anyway, and so I'm not sure if that's the correct item pickup from him. He probably wants a Hex at some point in this game, just to help secure the lockdown on the anti-mage and just give something else for the anti-mage to worry about.
They're actually heading up top. They're going to find HellRaisers, but they might look for more. They look to get this anti-mage. There's the stun. Can they kill him? The Echo Slime follows it up. Exotic Deer trying to blink away. He does get out back to the base, but now hexed up is going to be HellRaisers. He'll drop for his troubles, but the anti-mage survives, and that's really what matters in that exchange.
Yeah, that was a 5-hero rotation to try to kill the anti-mage. They don't get him, but they get the Lich. And they also make the enemy team expend their Chain Frost. So it looks like HellRaisers might try to get a Roshan off of this. This is actually a little problematic for Kinguin, because right now in order for Kinguin to win a team fight, they really have to pick someone off. This Phantom Lancer is actually capable of doing a lot of damage to the anti-mage, and so this Roshan's a little bit funny to watch right now. It's just wards and Bambo versus Rosh.
Supports on the side of HellRaisers are quite rich.
Yep. I mean, they did just get a Rax and like a lot of towers, and so I'm not sure why the Lich is so poverty, but yeah, they're doing pretty well. Earthshaker has the Force Staff. That should be really good against the Anti-Mage and against the Pugna. They're gonna get a kill on this Shaman.
Yeah, J4 is very dead. I don't know if it needed that, but he's dead.
Kill equals secured.
And they'll probably...
Nyx's Vendetta like ran out for a split second and Earthshaker saw him, but I'm pretty sure the Earthshaker and the Phantom Lancer were scared there because they just saw their Shadow Shaman die in that same area. So I think Anti-Mage going for Butterfly, which helps him against the Phantom Lancer a lot. At some point he might consider a BKB, to be honest, just to make sure he doesn't get chain stunned or hexed or shackled. But Butterfly help him a lot. At some point in Abyssal as well.
Take a look over mid. This Nyx does see Moan. He's got nobody with him right now, and kind of trying to predict that totem.
They saw him.
Oh, yeah, they saw him, and they're going to get themselves the stun as well as the dust, but he's too far away, and Nyx will be able to retreat.
HellRaisers look like they want to push here. So Kinguin have two options. Either they try to split push with the anti-mage, but the anti-mage isn't really... Well, the anti-mage is about 10 seconds away from the tier 2, so it's not going to be fast enough for him to initiate a base trade. So I think what Kinguin have to do is try to spam out, Frost Armor their towers, spam out the wave with Pugna and Firefly, and then maybe if they see an opening, go for pickoff. The problem is, in order for the anti-mage to do his job in these fights, he has to have someone initiate for him right now.
You got a Butterfly and double damage. You think maybe they try to go in on this retreating HR?
They could, but there's Plague Wards everywhere. They don't actually see HellRaisers heroes right now, and HellRaisers are probably aware that, hey, we don't want to get picked off right now. We have the Aegis. We're in a good spot, and so I think they're just gonna have Bambo push out the lanes for now. This anti-mage basically has to burst whoever gets lassoed, I think, in order for them to win the fight right now. Like Venomancer Phantom Lancer specifically is so good at escaping the anti-mage. Oh,
big fight might be setting up here for both sides. Kinguin, I think they got spotted.
Yeah, the Lich kind of ran up to Ponta Ward, which got instantly dewarded, but also it broke the smoke, and so HellRaisers, they knew it was coming, and they don't really want to kill the Phantom Lancer right now because he has Aegis. They were probably looking for a target like the Earthshaker or the Venomancer. It looks like Anti-Mage has a BKB queued up now.
It shouldn't be too long till he grabs it if he farms well enough, and then maybe this is where Kinguin turned the game over.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
And you've got Boots of Travel being picked up for Phantom Lancer in just a moment. He's about 350 gold away from that. Venomancer, 33, he's picked up his BKB, also has a gem. And then Sexy Bambo looking for a BKB of his own. You think with the BKB, is that like, that's it, Kinguin wins, or can they still...
No, I mean, HR have a lot of instant initiation. Oh, Manta.
Atos, he's trying to get out, but he's stunned up by the fissure. There's the Echo Slam. Can they bring him down? He's hexed up as well by J4, and they'll get the kill. Dead 80 seconds without buyback.
You know what? I take back what I said about the Atos that actually just secured the kill for them there. But I think the reason why is because the anti-mage didn't notice that his blink got cancelled. Because it got cancelled at the last second by the Atos. And then I think he had like a split second to react to Manta and blink out, but it didn't happen. So he's dead now. And HR, they're in a position to push. AM doesn't have buyout, so the most that Kinguin can do right now is try to spam it out with their spells.
They're gonna
which
wait.
Is fine, they have Frost Armor. I don't think they'll lose the racks. They might lose the tower though.
They're gonna wait to place these Serpent Wards.
Whoa.
Just a moment, the Ags will come out. Chain Frost hits 33, he's immediately life drained down. They've got the lasso coming through. This Phantom Lancer is so deep and he's killed! They play Serpent Wards as well, but that's not going to do too much. They've got themselves the dust on two of these heroes. J4 in a lot of trouble. Kazor gets a stun on both those heroes, and they are, in fact, in a lot of trouble. Rod of Atos is there. They'll get the totem to at least get one, but... wow.
Yo, the Pugna hero is crazy. But you know who's crazier? The Venomancer for blinking on that. I think he wanted to BKB... before he went in. Instead, he sort of just ate 2,000 magic damage immediately after blinking in. I'm not sure how that happened. I'm pretty sure the Nether Ward was responsible for a lot of that, and then the Phantom Lancer's Aegis ran out at that like specific time before he died, and so think astounding base defense from Kinguin. They lose a tier 3, but they keep their racks, and they probably make a lot of gold off of that. I mean, I'm sure the net worth swing will show up soon. Especially now that the anti-mage has a little bit of time to farm.
It wasn't that big of a swing, but it opens up time for anti-mage to get that BKB, where I thought that last death, where he was dead for so long, was going to cost them so much more.
Yep, I'm pretty sure all HellRaisers had to do was watch their wards and the Phantom Lancer hit the tower instead. Venomancer sacrifices himself for no reason.
I think they were waiting on the Ags for the Shadow Shaman, and they got too antsy and just went in.
Yep.
Dust? I mean smoke. There it is. So, let's see. This anti-mage still looking for this BKB. Has enough for the Ogre Club and almost enough for both that and the Mithril Hammer. But still pretty far away from this BKB in total.
Bambo's TPing in. I think he's going to try to scout someone out with his... I mean, Kinguin has to notice something's up, right? There's just treants walking through top lane. And the whole enemy team is missing. Oh, and then the wards get planted. So definitely notice that smoke coming in, and the Venomancer goes in.
Venomancer deep with that BKB on the back end, though. The Nyx is here, gets a stun on 2. He's immediately hex shackled, killed by 33. He's got a double kill as he killed El Wasage. There's the Echo Slam. Let's see. Can Exotic Deer stay alive? He doesn't have that BKB. Finally does blink back, and actually those Serpent Wards didn't do as much as I thought they would. They're continuing to push here. They've got all 5 for the side of HR. And here comes the Pugna. So Nisha's here with Exotic Deer, and let's see how HR play this one. They get the buyback on the Lich, and it looks as though they're going to retreat and just take a that Shrine's already dead.
Yep. You gotta fear the Lich buyback, right?
I guess. I mean, he's got Chain Frost, so...
Yeah, the Lich buys back, your whole team runs. Feels bad. I'm just kidding. I mean, they weren't in a position to push there. They already used 3 of their ultimates. I'm pretty sure they're happy with what they got, although they probably wanted more. This anti-mage is definitely still scared to enter these fights. I mean, without his BKB, he can't really reliably hit an enemy hero without expecting to be Echo Slammed or something, and so BKB should help a lot. I mean, if Kinguin wanted to make something happen before this BKB, they probably had to try to like go for like a pick off when HellRaisers were separated, but HellRaisers has done a good job of making the first move and making sure they're grouped up and actually getting some pretty crucial pickoffs on the anti-mage to keep them in this game. So anti-mage in a much more comfortable position. I mean, HellRaisers aren't completely out of this yet. It just means they have to be more careful with how they take their fights. All these fights so far, it's been them going in, baiting someone, and then when the anti-mage goes in, immediately follow up with the Echo Slam. Now that the anti-mage has a BKB, I think they have to be a little bit more proactive in finding him. They almost have a hex on Bambo. Bambo's 600 gold away from a sheepstick, and you always have the insane amount of lockdown from the Shadow Shaman and Earthshaker, and so if they do manage to catch this anti-mage first, they can kill him. The problem is the anti-mage isn't going to let himself get caught easily. He's always going to not really bait his teammates, but make sure that he's not the first one getting initiated on.
So, HellRaisers, they find themselves Roche right as it comes up. And let's see what they're going to do with this Aegis once they grab it. There's no counterplay yet from Kinguin. They are starting to come that direction, but it's a little bit too late.
I think Kinguin should still fight this. I actually do think they should still fight this, but I guess they're opting not to.
Yeah, they choose not to.
It's still a really weird place for, even like the moment that Roche happened, it's still a weird place for HellRaisers to fight, because it's kind of tough to fight when you're grouped up against Chain Frost and Pugna. Can't like Kinguin can't really afford to let HellRaisers get to their base because they're gonna take a lot of damage to their buildings, and this Nature's Prophet is gonna continue to split push and continue to pressure that Rax. And if Kinguin don't go for plays like that, I think they're just stuck trying to deal with the split push instead of actually proactively taking objectives and going for kills.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they do leave their base. It's just interesting because Kinguin, the only one that's really pushing out and showing is the anti-mage at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the Pugna can push out lanes, but there's super creep spot him, and that makes it a little bit more difficult for him.
Go for me.
Coming up is going to be this Phantom Lancer, while...
Just Prophet.
Ooh, neat. Yeah, Sexy Bambo comes in, Rod of Atos, there's the Yules used by Bat Rider, they get the Fissure to follow that up. Let's see if they go on through to fight both teams.
Yeah. I think they're trying to either pick someone off there or bait out the BKB from the anti-mage. Yeah, HellRaisers are in the winning position here. They have Kinguin kind of stuck in their base. Kinguin do have the pickup potential, so if they get a key pickoff on either the Earthshaker or the Venomancer, I think they'll be in a really good spot, but... Oh.
Nyx trying to get a stun. The Poison Nova comes out to the right of this fight. Niche is very low already. They've lost the Lich. The Chain Frost bouncing around, but they're gonna lose the Pugna as well. Shackles come through. They kill off the Bat Rider. That's going to be 3 kills, 2 of which buy back. That's Nisha and the Bat Rider trying to find something. Exotic Deer just does not seem like he's doing enough right now. And use that BKB. And meanwhile, up top, they lose their tier 3 and almost lose their melee racks. That looked like a very uncoordinated fight of Kinguin.
And you know, I mean, it's not that bad for Kinguin. They lose 2 buyouts, but it's on 2 heroes that I can't say they don't matter, but like their items for the next 10 minutes don't matter. What really matters for Kinguin right now is winning the next team fight, winning the next big team fight, and being able to get all of their lanes out so that they're in a position to look for pickoffs. Because their lineup doesn't work unless the Nyx, the Bat Rider, and the Anti-Mage can actually look for kills. This Pugna can get a lot done in these fights, but the 2 cores on HellRaisers have BKB, so it doesn't really give Pugna a lot of targets. He's basically just stuck blasting PL illusions until the BKBs run out, unless he somehow catches the support in the backline. But this the Shadow Shaman and this Earthshaker are super tanky.
HellRaisers 10,000 net worth lead. Just continue to farm a little bit. They do still have the Aegis to work with, and we'll see if they use that to continue pushing forward. The haste is there. Probably a better pickup for Milan than Kaiser, but neither of them pick it up, and it's actually going to go to 33.
Yep. Anti-Mage getting really close to his Abyssal. He has gold for it, but I think he might be saving for buyout, which is probably the correct decision. Oh, they might catch him here.
Ooh, Fissure comes out. He's in a little bit of trouble. Now he's hexed up. You take a look. The lasso comes out on 33, but that's all the way on the back lines. Nisha is going to get quite low and maybe going to drop as 33 is here. The stun comes out on 2. The Echo Slam follows that up. And Milan gets the kill on Nisha. 33 getting quite low. He's going to fall. And now you look at Kasor, who's trying to run away over by these tier 4s. Next up is going to be the Anti-Mage. He still has that ulti available. Peytos is going to be the one who's going to be aggressed on by Kasor. And it is, or Kaisor. And they'll end up getting the kill on Peytos. Exotic Deer, they're going to fight it out. Let's see what happens. BKB. This Phantom Lancer is very low on mana. Still no BKB popped, and Anti-Mage ends up dropping. He's going to buy back into the game. Let's see if they can chase. But they've already lost quite a bit. Not too sure if it's going to matter. Double kill comes in as Milan hits that stun.
Well, really good team fight from HellRaisers. I mean, well, funnily enough, the Venomancer got lassoed out of the fight, but he BKB'd before he got lassoed, so he wasn't actually taking any damage from the Firefly. And so he was able to blink out right away and get back into the fight, which I think helps deal with the other 4 heroes on Kinguin. And so Anti-Mage, he kind of needs his teammates to stay alive just to be able to cast their spells and help him in these teamfights, since there's so much crowd control coming out from HellRaisers. You have the Hex on the Nature's Prophet, and then you have Earthshaker and Shadow Shaman, which collectively have like 1 billion seconds of disable.
Meanwhile, up top, Nature's Prophet was just continuing to push. They've lost almost all their racks. Their racks still stand in the mid lane. It still stands in the top lane. And I'm not sure if Aegis was popped in that fight or he just lost it over time. But they might wait for the next rush.
I think he lost it over time. He was definitely alive, and he still had it last time I clicked him. So, despite buying back, Anti-Mage is still top net worth by far. He has his Abyssal now. The thing is, he has to go for pickoffs. Like, he can't let HellRaisers group up. When they're grouped up, they just have way too much crowd control for him.
He also has to use his BKB.
He really does, but there wasn't... in his defense, there wasn't really... It wasn't obvious when he had to BKB, because there wasn't a... Even if he BKBs, he can't actually hit any targets. Like, the Phantom Lancer is going to double walk. People have BKBs or Force Staffs or Invisibility, and so... I think the bigger problem there was that the lasso initiation wasn't on a target that Anti-Mage could hit, and so... There wasn't an obvious time for him to BKB, except at the very end, but... even that wasn't obvious, because by missing his BKB, he just got chain stunned like 8 seconds and didn't really have a chance to hit it in the first place, so... Not quite out of the game yet. Certainly not in a good position. I mean, they're 20k net worth behind.
They'd have to defend and really look to push. It just seems... like Kinguin, there's still 2 tier 2s. Happening. You see the Hex come out onto this Nyx assassin. They spot him out. Meanwhile, the Yules is out on the Bat Rider, who might be in a little bit of trouble. Yules again. Fissure is going to be avoided, and now there's the Anti-Mage working to get that kill on Milan. Meanwhile, the Lich is taken out, but this Chain Frost doing quite a bit with Nisha, just getting that life drain on him. They get 1, they get 2, and they'll get 3 and 4 as it's a triple kill for Exotic Deer. Wow.
I mean, Bambo gets the Rax's top, but this works out really well for Kinguin. I don't think they are concerned about the Raxes right now. What they are concerned about is just being in a position to just straight up win the game. I mean, 1 or 2 Raxes doesn't really matter for them. So what they probably want to do now is either secure Roche for their Anti-Mage, or force buyouts, or try to do both. It depends on how quickly they kill this, but it looks like it'll go down quickly enough. And there is a double damage bottom if they spot that out, which should help them out a lot. But for now, I think as soon as this Roshan goes down, either the Anti-Mage pushes mid, or they get their lanes up, because there is a risk that if the lanes reach the enemy base, that Babo's just gonna try to try to kill the mid racks.
This is quite a long Roche.
Yeah. So now I think their plan for Kinguin is to just push up the lanes, and then look for a pick off, or try to find a way to use their Aegis that like the enemy team can't win. But it's kind of risky right now, because if they leave their base and there's no backdoor protection, the Nature's Prophet just takes the racks, and then they'll be mega'd, and then it's a lot more difficult for them to win from there, because the only hero capable of clearing megas is the Anti-Mage.
His buyback's on cooldown for another 3 minutes, so... Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at who's got buyback, and the answer to that is 33, as well as Kaiser, and Sexy Bambo, and J4. They all have it. So 4 heroes on the side of HellRaisers. The only one who doesn't have it, or actually, yeah, the only one who doesn't have it is Milan, and then on the other side, Nyx has it, and Pugna has it, but that's it.
At this point, the only buyout that matters, I think, is the anti-mage. I guess HellRaisers buyouts also matter if they can somehow defend with it, but I can see... So HellRaisers, they just have to sit back, keep split pushing, and make sure the anti-mage can't actually win the game with this Aegis, but for Kinguin, I think they actually have to actively be looking for pickoffs, especially when HellRaisers is smoked up in front looking for this this last Rax. I think they're willing to die for it. I don't know if there's a fortification up.
They're going to use those Serpent Wards, trying to get the stun that's going to land on Milan. BKB is going to be popped. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage is going to be hexed up as well as Shackled. He's going to be in a whole bunch of trouble. Milan setting up here. He's got Echo Slam available. Probably going to try and line up the stuns as the Anti-Mage is finally going to use that BKB. They look towards the back end of this fight to clean up these Serpent Wards and clean up these creeps. They don't want to be up against Megas, and they've taken out 33. So they hold this melee Rax. Let's see if they can even find a fight. They don't have a BKB on the Anti-Mage anymore, but Patos, no lasso. And
Bambo's just hiding in the trees right now. I've seen this before. The Rax is low enough for him to kill it through backdoor protection, I think. But it looks like he TP's out instead.
So could technically call that a hold. Worked out well for Team Kinguin, now only down 12,000 net worth.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last Rax that Kinguin have, so as long as they hold, I think they're fine.
Buyback up in 35 seconds for Anti-Mage. So let's see what they can do. Down this much.
Given the buyback status, I think they pretty much have to kill HellRaisers 2 times over.
Well, actually, lasso over mid. This is to take out the Shadow Shaman. J4 is dead, but again, also has buyback. So he's dead for 60 seconds. There's no threat of Serpent Wards at the moment. And let's see how far HR are willing to go with a kill like that.
You have the Lich just sitting back next to the the Rax babysitting it.
Just putting ice armor.
The creep waves are really close to Kinguin's base. I don't think they can do this.
Top creep wave though is it could be trouble.
Yeah, I mean all it takes is one creep wave, and then they just throw like 2 heroes at that Rax, and it's gone. So they'll TP back. They have to play a little bit safe. I don't imagine they'll get anything done with this Aegis. Yeah, it would surprise me if they did anyway, because HellRaisers can always play around it, and they have been playing around it. So
the thing is,
almost everyone in this game has buyout right now, except the Earthshaker. I guess the Anti-Mage also just bought out.
Yeah, what does he have coming to him? Boots of Travel 2.
2. Got his new kicks.
Yep. We'll see how he uses that, and he's got to farm up back on that buyback, so he's down on that by only about 400 gold, so not a huge issue. Ooh, double damage again for Exotic Deer. That's got to be like 5 for him already.
Yeah, it's a high percentage chance he gets them though, because there's 2 runes spawning and he's blinking around for it, and the enemy team's not really going for runes, so I'm pretty sure he notices the double damages and goes for them. And lucky for HellRaisers, he hasn't really been able to use one in a team fight.
Switch is poor.
He really is, but I mean, Lich is Lich, right? Literally in a game like this, Lich is sitting in his base frost armoring heroes and buildings. Also,
they look for the Echo Slam. That's going to be a whiff from Milan. Now Anti-Mage is going to continue to go in. He's going to get that stun out on a couple of these heroes. J4 is already down. The lasso is going to come through on the Phantom Lancer. They might be able to get this kill. He's going to be in a bit of trouble, but hexed up is the Anti-Mage. So Exotic Deer just trying to make anything happen, try and take out this Phantom Lancer. BKB is going to be popped by Nisha. Kaiser might fall. He does. but they have taken out Kazor. And they're going to lose 33 as well. 3 are going to die, and another hold comes out from Kinguin.
Do it, Bambo. Go for the racks. Actually, I'm pretty sure Kinguin have to have their glyph by now. And so Kinguin, they hold. In fact, they if you look at the last 15 minutes, they've sort of chunked down this net worth advantage mountain that HR had. Looking like a pretty steep slope there.
By quite
I guess
a
it was
bit.
a steep ascent as well. But no, they're in a much better position now. They get to keep their buyouts, and I think they get to force HR's buyouts as well. There goes one.
So there's 33. Meanwhile, up top, this Nature's Prophet is going to try and push. And let's see if they could get themselves a set of racks here for the side of Kinguin. They have BKB back up for the Anti-Mage. Meanwhile, deep into the base, they're going to get the Yules out on Anti-Mage. He's forced to pop that BKB. He's not going to be able to try and go for
That's actually the
tower.
second time the Anti-Mage has blinked in, and someone has preemptively casted a Hex or a Yules on him. The first time was in mid lane, and Bambo managed to Hex, or like precast the Hex on the AM. And there was the Yules, which is a really good play from the Earthshaker.
So it's
Prevents a kill
already
happening on him.
a 5-second BKB.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been really problematic if the Earthshaker died there, because he's one of the only ways they can chain stun the Anti-Mage, and so, I mean, if the Earthshaker goes down, they're in a bit of trouble. So it looks like nothing will happen. They forced out the Venomancer buyout. I'm pretty sure Kinguin wanted to force out more than that, and HellRaisers are happy that they only lose, what is it, 1 buyout? 1 buyout.
Yeah, just Venomancer. Roche is back up in 3 minutes. Give both teams a moment to farm. Meanwhile, Kazor has a gem
Smoked up on
him
Kinguin.
and a gem in the stash.
HellRaisers are in a pretty defensive position right now, but there is a lot of potential for them to catch someone. They have Batriders.
Ooh, Batrider coming in. The last was going to come through on the Earthshaker. He's going to be hit by that Abyssal Blade. They'll be able to take Milan out very quickly. Meanwhile, the Poison Nova is already going to be used as well as the Serpent Wards. Let's see if they can find anything with this. They'll take out one in Kazor, but they're going to look to get themselves another kill on El Asash. So 2 die, but they lose 2 themselves, and the buyback is there from Milan. Fissure not in the best spot, but there's the blink with the Echo Slime. Exotic Deer immediately able to run away. You take a look, as that's going to be the Phantom Lancer going down, as Nisha gets the kill. He gets a second one on Milan, and that's Patos hitting the deck from J4. I think they're going to still continue to look to chase, as Exotic Deer without any mana can't blink forward. And, oh boy, Nisha actually has to decrep himself to run away.
Yeah, Batrider getting bot lane pushed out, doesn't want Bambo to backdoor this last racks. Really astounding team fight from Kinguin there. I mean, it looks really good from the start. They picked off the Earthshaker at the start of the fight, and then the Earthshaker actually diebacked, so if they kill him again, he'll be out of the fight. And that Earthshaker is actually really important for them to be able to kill the Anti-Mage. I mean, they already have enough problems killing this Anti-Mage. The Phantom Lancer has his MKB now, but it's still not a lot of damage against the Anti-Mage, especially when he's Black King Bard against the Diffusal. And so this Anti-Mage we saw, he was incredibly difficult to kill. The only way they kill him is if they chain stun him for over like 5 to 8 seconds. And so you know, the buyouts are starting to be expanded from HellRaisers.
And it's actually now a 1,000 net worth lead for the side of Kinguin. They were down 20,000 net worth. That's insane.
Yep. I mean, all the while, this Pugna's starting to reach God tier territory. Little disappointed that he's not buying an Ags, but I suppose it's not super high priority right now. I think he just wants to be able to get that Octarine so he can throw as many blasts as possible. There's a pickup going on the Nyx.
Kazor is gonna die, but the rest of the team is here. Exotic Deer and Nisha are both around. The Batrider is gonna be Yulesed up. He's gonna have to BKB to try and run out. Milan is gonna TP into the shrine. And let's see how far HR are looking to chase. They forced that forward on Milan, but they're just not gonna have the gap closer to kill any of these heroes.
That Nature's Prophet ult actually revealed to Kinguin that they were in the vision of a ward, and I think if they didn't get hit by that Nature's Prophet ult, they might have tried to bait themselves into killing the Earthshaker, But instead, they get hit by the Nature's Prophet and immediately back off.
So there's the refresher picked up for Anti-Mage. But while that's happening, Roche, this is big actually. HR to have another life. Both teams to have another life, really. But
Kinguin have the potential to stop this. I really think they should try, but looks like they're just gonna push out instead. I mean, the problem, even if you're behind the Nyx, I think my justification for trying to fight Roche is it's so hard for them to defend their racks now because they can just throw their bodies at the enemy team can just throw their bodies at the racks, or they just wait until their buyouts are back up, because that's two options that HellRaisers have. They can either try to just get the megas right now, or they can wait for buyouts, or do both. But
smoke from Kinguin.
Yeah, not the best time actually, because they had to push out that mid wave
and top,
but they might be able to go for a kill elsewhere.
So Anti-Mage showing himself. Let's see if they might be able to kill Milan if he's not too careful. And
you don't have vision of him.
He doesn't have buyback for 4 minutes, so
I mean, this is the kind of game where like a Night Stalker really gets noticed, because
oh, there it is, the blink, the lasso. They'll bring this Earthshaker back to Crepify, Dagon, Nisha.
Excuse me. That Earthshaker died in a hurry.
Oh yeah. Got that zip zap of the
and
Dagon
actually, that
level
Earthshaker
5.
doesn't have bio. I'm pretty sure Kinguin are aware. I mean, the problem is they're going to get split pushed, right? Like, the creeps are already in their tower. I don't think they can push this. In fact, the Anti-Mage has to run back because his travels aren't up. You have this Lich defending the tower by himself with is probably the saddest 55-minute inventory I've ever seen.
Probably just saying, guys, you guys gonna come back? I can't do this by myself. I'm weak. I just have tranquils.
Have you ever seen a level 22 Lich with tranquils, wind lace, and 2 TPs in his inventory?
Chain frost to kill the creeps.
I'm surprised I didn't click this Lich sooner.
I wish he had eggs.
Like, what does he buy? Does he buy a Midas, or is it too far?
I don't know. I don't know how long this game is gonna go, if it's even worth the value at this point. I feel like I don't know where his gold's gone. That's the real question.
He took the 150 damage talent, but I'm almost tempted to say that he should have got the 120 GPM talent.
Seriously.
You get the 120 GPM, you buy yourself like 3 Mjolnirs and some treads, and you just start defending Mega Creeps, right? 3 Mjolnirs and
buy an axe, you know?
Or an axe, yeah.
Just chain frost. If you're gonna use that chain frost on creeps, you might as well have axe.
That's true.
Man. He has less than 100 GPM.
Well, you can't look at it like that, because he's most of his gold went into wards.
I guess, yeah.
So the GPM is high. If there was a metric for like net worth per minute, it'd be pretty down there, because not only is he buying support items, but he's probably lost a lot of gold from dying, and I think he's bought out once as well.
Oh, just 4,300 net worth.
Oh, there's actually there was a GPM. So he's got 200 GPM if you look at the metric. I think its hotkey is U for it. I never look at it, so I wouldn't know, but apparently it is in the game. So 210 GPM. I've seen lower.
Yeah, not terrible. But as this game progresses, it could be worse. Milan gonna try and get that stun. It's gonna come in onto Exotic Deer. He's also X'd up. The Serpent Wards are placed around him, but the lasso comes through on a couple of these heroes. Fury 3 is gonna try and go in deep. The Gale is out on El Asaj, but they've already taken out Sexy Bambo. They look for more. This Chain Frost bouncing around. The ulti comes in from the Anti-Mage. They pop that Aegis. But now Anti-Mage very low. The shackles are there. He's getting burned down. He's gonna be killed off, forced to buy back. So now, Sexy Bambo, he's also bought back. J4 is going to have himself a double kill as they kill off the Nyx, I think, for the second time. And it is that last melee Rax just trying to stand, just trying to stay alive. There's the refresher used on Exotic Deer. Let's see if they continue to chase. An Echo Slam comes out from Milan, as well as that fissure to lock up the Bat Rider, to lock up the Anti-Mage. Can he stay alive? He's trying his best. He won't. And that will be both of them dead for a minute or 130 seconds. That's 2 minutes and more, as he's killed off, and now the Pugna will drop immediately by back. Nisha, the last hope is these tier 4s are getting quite low. I don't know what they have to throw their way. Maybe a 4,700 net worth Lich is all it takes, but we'll never know, as this game is getting quite over with, as 33 comes in with the BKB, the Dagon, the kill, and now they look after this poor Lich, and GG will be called by Kinguin.
Well, you know, it looked like Kinguin were on track to win this game with their lineup, but HellRaisers, you know, they pull off a hell of a team fight in the bottom lane, which resulted in that first Rax being taken. And after that first Rax was taken, it freed up a lot of, I guess, space for them, because they no longer had to be at the disadvantage to the anti-mage split push, and they were always on like the aggressive from then on, and were able to just win the game from there.
Yeah, I think that last Aegis was very important, and surprised to really see Kinguin just give it up like that, not contesting it at all, and it was that second life that really helped HellRaisers out. So they go ahead, they win game 2. Nice performance by HellRaisers for the most part. I mean, it would have been more clean if they didn't lose that 20,000 net worth lead. But Kinguin, they have fight in them, and it's now tied at 1. So winner moves on in the upper bracket, loser goes down to the lower bracket. We'll see who wins in Game 3 between Team Kinguin and HellRaisers. I'm your caster, BCop, joined here by Franz at BCop92 on Twitter for myself, and for Franz, it's at Hello Franz. So we'll be back in just a moment for Game 3 between these two teams, HellRaisers and Team Kinguin. Stay right there.